They had been driving for well over an hour, only a little bit farther to go, when they heard the first sign of trouble. There was a thunking sound. It wasn't loud and it wasn't constant, but it was there. It made Mary think of a piece of plastic stuck to the bottom of a shopping cart wheel, how it makes that click sound every time it comes back around and hits the floor. Joseph's car was old, older than he was, so strange sounds weren't anything new. They kept driving, figuring it was something that got caught in the tread and would eventually kick itself back out. They had decided to take the shortest route, and so far it had taken them mostly back roads. The thunking sound had been drowned out as they cranked the radio up and began obnoxiously singing along to one of their favorite songs. Neither one destined for a career in music. Just as they got to the good part, there was a loud pop and the wheels suddenly jerked to the left. Joseph tried to bring it back into the lane, but overcorrected, sending them into a small ditch. Thankfully, no one was hurt. They both climbed out to survey the damage. Nothing worth noting other than a flat tire. Annoyed and a little embarrassed, Joseph got out his phone to call home. But there was no service. He walked around a bit, holding his phone in the air, hoping to at least get enough service to send out a message for someone to come get them. But there was no luck. He figured if he walked a little ways down the road, he'd find service. There was no need to panic. Mary wasn't feeling much like sitting around waiting for him, and she figured she could use the exercise anyway. These last couple of months had been kind of rough as she changed from a petite teenager to what she felt resembled a beached whale. She definitely hadn't been as active as she used to be, so she decided to walk with him, swollen ankles and all. Hand in hand they strode down the road, both holding their phones in the air, sporadically turning in circles and crossing the road, searching for that elusive wireless signal. They walked for quite some time before Mary began to feel those pains again. She'd been having them for a few days, and after being checked out, the doctor had assured her they were Braxton Hicks contractions, her body's way of preparing her and the baby for the actual birth that would happen before too long. Though they had been painful before, these ones were stronger. These ones made her stop walking until they passed. This went on for quite some time, and each new contraction seemed worse than the last. She didn't want to panic Joseph, but the truth was, she was starting to worry that this was the real deal. When you're having to stop every few minutes, it takes much longer to get anywhere, and considering they had seen nothing but a few run-down houses and old dilapidated barns, she was feeling an urgency to get somewhere, find somewhere to sit down, and find some cell phone service.